and welcome to the Fat Squirrel Speaks. Today is Tuesday, March 18th, and this is episode 103. If you're a returning viewer, you might think that went far more smoothly than it should have. It's because I've already recorded this intro like 3 times. Mahabas. If you're a returning viewer, how are you again? If you're new, hello there, and welcome to the show. I'm your hostess, Amy Beth, also known as Fat Squirrel on Ravelry. Shaky pants in the video casting world. Did you see that? I just shook the camera really bad. Shaky pants. And the Fat Squirrel, SQRRL on Instagram. Why not? It's fine. And even though I've done this part 3 times, I still left something over there. Dang it! So this week's episode will have shenanigans in the form of knitting pipeline retreat recap. It will have spinning. It'll have a little bit of knitting because I didn't get a lot done because I went to a knitting retreat. So clearly I didn't get much knitting done. That makes sense to no one but knitting people. And it has a few bits of things I bought. It doesn't have all the bits of things I bought. Oh, and it doesn't also have a shop update, even though there is a shop update on Friday, March 21st at, what time do I usually have these things? 9 p.m. Eastern. I wasn't asking you, like, sarcastically. I was really asking myself because I couldn't remember for a minute. Because it's actually late at night now, and there's nobody awake in this house except me. Not even my fierce 12-pound dog. And I realized that I left some of the things that I purchased at the retreat, as well as the bags I have left over to sell on Friday. I left them out in the car. And between here and the car, there's like a good 20 feet of just rabid possums and burglars. I can't run that gauntlet right now. Okay, I can't walk that gauntlet now. I'm not running it. Let's not pretend. I can't walk that gauntlet right now. It's too stressful for me. So I'm just going to let the hobos and the burglars and the rabid possums just have the trash can fires out back. And I'll show you next time all that other stuff is back there. Except the bags. I can't show you those because hopefully they're sold. Please. I know, right? It's not like I'm a delicate flower who's going to get blown away in the wind. What if I just fell and broke my ankle? There would be no one there to rescue me. Feral cats would eat my face off before the morning, I'm sure of it. And the possums. And the burglars. I can't go out there. If there was an emergency, I would work up the gumption. But there's not. So I'm not. Gumptionless right now. How are you? Okay, so let's first talk about shenanigans. Shenanigans are not like, ooh. So shenanigans are not super shenanigan-y this week because they're the knitting pipeline retreat recap. And I just did the recap and it sounded terribly boring. So hopefully this time it will not sound terribly boring because it was not terribly boring at all. But somehow I can only offer it in like outline form. Maybe I haven't had enough time to like defrag yet. I think that's what it is, even though I've had 3 days. Hush! Don't judge my defrag speed. So, we'll see how it goes. Hopefully this time around it's not totally snooze-tastic, but maybe it will be. I don't know. So, this is my second knitting pipeline retreat. Last year was my first ever retreat. So I was very nervous last year. And I was driving off into the wilderness with the very notorious Libby Ball of the Multicraftual podcast, the potentially murderous Joanna Spring of Knit Spin Farm, and the completely unknown, no face on a podcast as of yet, Malia, who is now of the Yarn Raising podcast. She could have murdered us all. So last time I just drove off into the wilderness with those ladies in the hopes that there would be no murderers among us, or rabid possums. That's still to be determined. So this year was our friend anniversary. Yay! And we knew there was no murderers. So Libby came here Friday morning, and very early in the morning, we drove up to Joanna's. So we did drive up through Indianapolis to get to Joanna, and we stopped for fancy Starbucks because I quite frankly don't feel like I can't go on a car ride of more than 2 hours unless I have a Starbucks, or I feel really bad about not having a Starbucks. So it's one of those two. So either I feel cheated and don't have one, or I feel justified about my long car trip and I do have one. So I felt like I should go with the justified, and also we're making excellent time. Because that Libby Balls, she was early. So we are in the Starbucks line, and my husband calls me on the cellular telephone. I don't know why I felt the need to put all those syllables in there, but I did. And tells me that I have forgotten the device with which I can take pictures of humans, and the same device with which I can read credit cards for those vending. If I go back and get that device so that I can take pictures and read vending things, read cards, that means I will be 2 hours late, essentially, because it's going to take minimum an hour and a half to get down there and back, because I'm going to be going with traffic. We had beat the traffic. It was very exciting, an old man of us. But then I was just going to dive us back into the traffic bowels, which I did not feel I could do. Right. So the lovely Libby was like, well, you can totally use my thing. And I was like, oh my gosh, I was very excited about her. But of course that means I had nothing to take pictures with. I probably would have forgotten to take pictures anyway, because I'm very bad at that kind of thing. Oh, sorry, it's true. And luckily there's Instagram. But, oh, curses. But so anyway, we went on to Joanna's. And Joanna had said that there were baby chicks and that we could visit with the baby chicks. But I was like, okay. Not that I'm anti-baby chick. Not a monster. But I was just like, that's nice. Because I was imagining the baby chicks running after the mama chicks out in the wild, and they're like all diluted. The cuteness is diluted, because like, it's lovely, but it's, it's out there. I didn't realize that there was like an actual corral of cuteness. That Joanna Spring had the actual baby, like the whole mass of baby chicks, like in the thing that's got the warming lights on it. It's not really an incubator, but you know what I mean. And so that like you could actually like physically, like if you could just bring a scoop, you could just like scoop them up and then just like that. I didn't realize that was happening. So I was actually completely not mentally prepared for the amount of cuteness that I could have savored. But oh my gosh, baby chicks are really cute. They're all cute when they're natural and like out in the world. But when they're like a whole, like a blanket of baby, like a hat of baby chicks. It's true. It's magical. And we got to see sheep and goats and chickens and turkeys. And then we all piled in the car. And 3 hours later, we were like, it's been 3 hours since we've seen a sheep. Let's go see more sheep. So we stopped at the farm, and I can't remember. I couldn't remember last time I told the story either. I can't remember what the name of the farm is. A responsible person would have looked that up in the interim. Not me. But so we got to see her lovely sheep. They were so cute. And this is the cutest part of the cuteness. Her husband says to us, because this year the pipeline retreat was like a month earlier than it was last year. And last year they were lambs. He actually said to us, he's like, I'm so sorry, I did not realize it was a month earlier. If we would have realized, we would have totally put the ram in with the ewes earlier so that there could be sheep, so that there could be lambs. How cute is that? They're like, yes, we could clearly just rearrange our whole lives so you crazy yokels could just come in and see some lambs. How cute is that? They're so cute, I could die. I love them. So we went there and we got to see the lambs. I mean, no, not the lambs. The sheep. The pregnant sheep, which... And we got to see the fleeces. And drool on them. And covet them. And we got to see friends. Hi, friends! We saw there. And then we went on to the square. We had our lunch. And they had pie, but they did not have any fruit pie, so I did not eat pie. I'm not into cream pie. How do you feel about this? What's your take? We discussed at our table, I can eat coconut cream pie, but I need a meringue, and it needs to be browned. Not everybody had consensus on that one, but clearly I'm right. I'm the one who knows how to eat food. Why are we questioning these things? But I'm fruit pie, potentially a banana cream. I don't know. Coconut cream, okay. It needs to have some sort of cooked filling though. I don't know, it's just how I feel. So we ate our lunches. We had sweet potato fries, which were very delicious. And then we went out to Peddler's Way quilt shop and we quilted it up. Looked around. We bought some things. For sure. And then we went on to the retreat. Oh! Such a good retreat. You should really go. It's fabulous. It's fabulous. It's like a great, I mean, again, it was my first retreat and it is an awesome first retreat because you can go longer, but it's just a Friday and Saturday. Lots of people go there and get there on Wednesday and then do the yarn crawl on Thursday. But technically it's Friday and Saturday. And so it's like not a huge time commitment. It's very affordable. And it's a great group of people. What else could you ask for? It's awesome. So, I had a lovely time again. I got to see so many of your faces. I got to see new faces and faces I had seen before. I got to talk to a bunch of faces. Did I get a lot of knitting done? Not at all. Did I get some knitting done? A little bit. Not much. I was too busy talking to people. That's all there is to it. I don't think I sat down all that. I'm sure I sat down. I did sit down, but I didn't sit down where I was supposed to sit very often. I kept moving around because it was like just too many people to visit with. Right? Too many people to visit with. I didn't get to visit with half the people I wanted. Okay, I got to visit probably half the people I wanted to, but I didn't get to visit with everybody. But I still got to visit. It was awesome. It was so great. So the pipeline retreat, you can either elect to camp at the church, which is what we did last year, or this year we decided to stay at a hotel, and it was lovely. We stayed at the Super 8, and they had very nice pillows and cable television. That's highfalutin in my book. And then what else did we do? We went back to the retreat, and we talked some more. And then there was vending, and that was an experience. A lovely experience. Last year was my first vending experience too at the pipeline retreat. What? I'm done. I'm kidding you. So this year I got to vend again and it was awesome as usual. I love a super low-key vending experience. Actually, I only had 2 other ones. I enjoyed both of them. But this one is excellent. Paula's like, pick a table, put your stuff out, let's go. I'm like, yes, that's a good plan. So I got to visit with you lots then too. Even though it was kind of stressful, I'm sorry. You know how I pick the table where I'm going to be at the pipeline retreat for vending? I turn on my magnetic sensors in my body, and then my body decides to find the one place in the whole place where the Wi-Fi doesn't work. And that's where I feel like I need to set my table. That's what I did last year. This year I did the same thing. Yeah, no, I'm not even kidding. So my card reader just would not work. I'm sure it would have worked had I been patient enough to mess with it. But by the time that I got ready to go, I just wasn't patient anymore. And I was like, never mind, it's not going to work. And I'm not going to get stressed out. I'm just going to roll with it. And luckily, the pipeliners are awesome and nobody yells at you when you can't do things the way you're supposed to. Right. Knitters are the best. So we just rolled with it. We just went with it, as we do. And it was awesome. It was very chaotic and crazy for an hour. But it was so fun. It's so fun. I never get to say real thank yous to people when they buy my stuff. I mean, I say like your thank you on your sticker, and I'm very thankful in my heart. And I'm super thankful every time I go to the grocery store and buy groceries with the money that you gave me for the bags I sent you. Super thankful every time. But I actually got to look at a person and say thank you. That's a whole different thing. I love that. It's awesome. Yay. So then we came home and we stopped at Mexican food, and that was delicioso at Mas Amigos in Urbana champagne. See, Mas Amigos. Right. It's awesome. And then we came home. It was super uneventful in terms of like car rides, which is just what you want. Luckily, my little husband had my car tuned up, which was a good thing, because when he took it to the mechanic on Wednesday, they said there was something like the spark plugs were arcing. I imagine you know that that's not a good thing. Not a good thing at all. So luckily that got all taken care of. Thank you for your purchases to help pay for my car repair. You know. So anyway, it was lovely as usual. The bestest. I just talked to so many faces. There was so much laughing. Before I even got there, I felt a little bit of a strain in a tummy muscle. Before I even got there. Right? That's good stuff. So let's talk about knitting and spinning and stuff. Let's do it. I have a finished spinning object. Oh, I guess I'm talking about the retreat. I can just go ahead and talk about some stuff I bought. I know it's out of order, but just I'm in the groove. So let's just do it right now. Don't judge. I'm also going to talk a little bit about an ebook that I received this week, which I'm in love with. So again, I don't have all the things. The possums are knitting with them right now. But I will show you two things. Well, three things technically, because one of the things I'm knitting with. So from Ogle Designs, I believe it's Ogle, right? I bought this super fun. They are so cute. Last year they were so cute, and I didn't even get time to shop. And this year they were so cute, and I forgot to shop, and then luckily they hadn't put all their stuff away yet. So I swooped in. I swooped in. So I got these. They're kind of like a gradient-y thing. And she does a lot of like bright colors, but if you know me, I don't understand bright colors. I don't understand them. So this is much more my speed. And this is 100% BFL. It's 4 ounces, which is 250 yards. And it's a worstedy DKE weight. It's listed as worsted. Right. So she had a very cute shawl on that sheet. And by the way, sheepy hole punch. How much does that make you happy? Makes me happy. And again, it's awesome to buy things from people with faces. And their faces are super cute. And then also, speaking of people with faces, wouldn't it be weird if I were like, but this person doesn't have a face, so I didn't buy. No. Speaking of people with faces, Steven of Dramatic Knits, also of the Leading Men Fiber Arts. I bought some stuff from him. So I bought this fiber, which is Superwash Merino. It's 4 ounces in the Man of Mystery colorway. Isn't that lovely? So I tried his yarn, which I was very pleased with. But I've never done his fiber. So I'm very excited. And then this is Popeye's, the colorway is Popeye's Delight. Look at that. Is that not stinking pretty? And this is Super Sock, which is 75% superwash wool, 25% nylon. So it's not, as far as I know, it's not a specific wool like BFL or merino. It's very soft though. Maybe it, but whatever. But I can't really, it's almost, maybe it's a little bit of a humbuggy base. I don't know. He did a great, look at this. For what is essentially like a tonal, look at how much great depth that is. Right. And there was a very beautiful purple one. It was very hard to decide. But like, look, it has almost like this goldish sheen to it. Look at that. Right. Oh, I'm super excited. I'm always excited by spinning fiber from people who spin because I feel like they know what they're doing. Look at that. Ooh, so I'm very excited about that. It makes me make that noise if you hadn't noticed. Okay, so everything else I'll try to remember to show you next week. Okay, so knitting and spinning. I have a spinning finished object. Last week I showed you my Into the World in Polworth In the Bird Girl episode, you can see my cruddy handwriting there, which I just slapped on there. Okay, what is up? Now, I don't know, I don't know if this looks amazing to you or not. It's not like amazing like I did an amazing job. That's not what I mean. Because it's, as is typical of me, it is in no way consistent. But I really did just, like, after I, like, washed it and dried it, it's so wonderfully squishy. And the colors are just, like, so pretty. Oh, it's like, oh, it's its own stuffed animal. Like, I don't need to make it into a stuffed animal. It already is. Maybe I'll sleep with it tonight. Don't judge. My husband's not here. I don't know. I love it so much. I'm a giant nerd. I know. Don't tell me. I know. So I don't think it's anything that spectacular, but I love it. Like this. I love it like this. Can you see the love? I love my dog like that sometimes. She doesn't always appreciate it. My love is very fierce and somewhat scary sometimes. I really like to squish things. Which is why I did not pick up the baby chicks. I mean, I held one, but I had to put it down because I really want to squish things when I love them. So luckily, while I have a very tiny dog, she's rather sturdy. And I'm going to go like this and squish her, and she doesn't mind. Well, she might mind, but I give her food, so we're okay. So anyway, I don't know why I love it so much, but I do. Okay, so knitting I'm wearing for this job dish. Can you see that? Have you noticed the giant orange thing on my head? Have you noticed? Maybe you have. If you're observant, you get a star. So this is my Molly. And I apologize. Do I have the pattern? No, I do not. I also have something else I have to show you, but it's all the way over there. Do you want like a really scary zoom in of my face? I'm just showing you my hat, right? I'm just showing you my hat. Okay. So this is my Molly. And I apologize. Again, I already said I don't know who it's by. It'll be in the show notes maybe, if you're lucky. Shush. And it is in Sadie's yarn. And Sadie is, of course, Knitter's Nightmare. And this is like a tweedy-ishness. Worsted-ishness. In a pumpkin-y color. I'm terrible when I send people things, like if it's not business related. I always delay to the last second and I just cram in a thing and never remember to send a note. Well, Sadie sent a note, but she was like, but I couldn't take the time to find a tag. I got you, Sadie. I'm very pleased with it. I had just a little smidge of yarn left, so I did not quite do as many of the cable repeat as, and this is a free pattern, I believe, right? I didn't do as many of the cable repeat as was suggested because I didn't measure my gauge or anything. Let's not be silly. That's crazy talk. So I felt like I was getting close to running out of yarn, so I'm glad I did not do as many repeats as was suggested because I would have run out of yarn. That's all I have to say about that. I enjoyed it. I'm trying to remember what size needles I knitted on. That seems to be a stretch. I believe I knit the body in US 4s. That sounds like it's the truth. That doesn't really sound like a lie. That sounds like the truth. And I don't know, the brim was probably on a 2 or something. I do remember that I did not increase between the band and the body of the hat. I believe the pattern had you do an increase. I'm almost positive. And I just cast on the full number because I like it to be very baggy. That's what I did. So I forgot to show you this. I didn't forget, it was just over there and I was afraid to show you close-up faceness. But you have to see this insanity. You ready? This is from the Vending Pipeline Retreat. Oh! Jennifer! Totally knit me. See, I'm the fat squirrel, right? What does she knit me? A flat squirrel. Do you get what she did? Do you see that? She totally made that thing. So how cute is she? With her like beautiful tonal yarn for my dead roadkill squirrel with the tire tracks on him. And his beautiful like richly red tongue of death. And his crossed eyes. So there was like lots of debates if I should wear him as like a fascinator. Which I do think is really, maybe he really just needs to be attached to a hat. Because it would be like a jaunty Davy Crockett thing, right? A jaunty. Or I could wear him, and sorry if you're at the pipeline retreat, I've done this act like 7 times because I can't resist. We can wear him like as a fox, you know? And it could be like social commentary, or it could just be festive. One or the other. I'm not going to judge. Maybe like a wristlet. Right. Fanciness. So thank you, Jennifer. You gave us many a laugh. Did I say that thing in the beginning this time about the iTunes reviews? I don't think I did. But I want to say thank you for iTunes reviews, for positive or constructive iTunes reviews. I just got a really terrible iTunes review though, and I was discussing with Jennifer. I mean, it's really terrible. Like, I don't think it was written by any of you. Well, if you wrote that review and you're still watching, you have issues. So, but bless you. But it was this really awful review, which I think was just junk. But I discussed that it would have been really bad timing had the lovely cuteness of herself, and by the way, she's super cute. The lovely cuteness of herself, if she had decided to mail this with me, it would have coincided with that really terrible review, and I might have been like, is this a death threat in the form of yarn? And I would have been alarmed. But luckily she gave it to me at the Pipeliner retreat, and so I wasn't afraid. Wouldn't that be the craziest thing ever? I think I got a yarny death threat. I don't know, it's me in knitted effigy having been run over. I feel like that would be a unique police report that luckily I do not have to file. Okay, so back to knitting and spinning. I know, whatever, it's a crazy episode. Okay, so I have been working on other things too, but I'm not going to show you everything I've been working on because, well, actually, we're only at 27 minutes. Go us. But I do want to talk about this book really quickly. So just briefly, I will show you my Maybe Piper's Journey from last time. And that is knit with some my hand spun that I spun from Three Waters Farm in a superwash merino silk in the Pond Reflections color, I want to say. Maybe. So I'm doing the body of the Piper's Journey, like the garter portion. I probably will not do the applied edge because then the striping will run contrary to how it's running in the body of the thing. But I'll just do something else on the border. Because I love that shape so much, Paula. Oh my god, and Paula. Broadway. All the Pipeliner crew. I could just go on forever. It's ridiculous. I really could. Okay, so there's that. Okay, so then the next thing I'm knitting. Really? Did I do that? Totally did that. I did do that. Okay, I'm just gonna look really quickly at the spiffy screen because I brought the yarn over but then forgot to bring over the ball band, and she is a new to me vendor, and so I am not as familiar with her shop name. Okay, I'm obviously not at all familiar with her shop name because I don't have it with me. Okay, so let me, I apologize. It's going to be just a few minutes and I might decide to edit this out. Edit. Okay, I'm back. So this is from A Riot of Color, and she's a riotofcolor.etsy.com. Are you gonna read? There you go, a little bit. And this is a one-of-a-kind called Pine Forest in her Fingering Superwash Merino. So there it is in the ball. We traded. It's a lovely green. And I am knitting from Coop Knits. She's so fancy. every time I say it, I'm like, is it Co-op Knits? It's not Co-op Knits, right? No, because nobody's name is Co-op. But I like to be stressed out about stuff. So anyway. So the lovely Rachel Coopy, who has sent me, in the past, has sent me some of hers, or from her book, Coop Knit Socks, which I don't know if you remember, it looks like that. Beautiful sock book. Has a new collection out, and it is hats, mittens. Well, it's got a pair of mitts. It's got a cowl and a scarf, I believe. So it's accessories, which I am having trouble navigating at the moment. So I am knitting her pattern, which is on page 28. Let me just, I know I'm full of fail. A basket of fail. A whole trough of fail. It's the Ripon. It's R-I-P-O-N. Right? Oh! Shut up! I really want to make this exact hat. Like, I just want to make the twin of this hat because this yarn I'm very intrigued by. All of the hats in this book, and Rachel is of course English. Well, she lives, okay, I have no idea if she's English or not. But she lives across the pond. And all of the hats in this, or all of the items in this collection, I believe, are knit with Ba Ram U Titus, which is a 4-ply, 50% Wensleydale, 20% BFL, 30% UK alpaca. And it comes 350 yards to 100 grams. And you can buy this in the US. I believe Church Mouse sells it online, as do a couple of other online retailers. But I just, and I love that pumpkin color, hard. But I couldn't wait. I had to cast it on right now. So let me find another view of the back. There's the back of it. I don't want to show you. I don't want to show you the magic information. So there's the back of it. So here it is thus far. These are of course fingering weight. Right. This is, oh, it looks so good on there. Eek. So would I necessarily recommend doing this in a semi-solid? No, I mean, I would recommend doing it in a solid, but I didn't have one, so hush. I needed it right now, and I really needed a green hat because I don't have a green hat that's this color, and it's this color time of year. I need green things. I need a lot of green stuff. Isn't it pretty? So I cast on US zeros, and then I started the body, which is about here-ish, with a 2.5 millimeter, but then I broke my Knit Picks Harmonies, broke them like a hoss. And so now I'm onto my 2.7 because I didn't have a 2.5 in any other needle. How is it I've been knitting for 15 years and still there are holes in my needle life? It's amazing, right? So I could have gone to the knitting store, but I didn't get a chance yet. So I have started on 2.75 millimeters. Some of you were like, what? It's a hat. Shush. Like, it's okay. It's a hat. So it's much stretchier than this, and I'm not going to stretch it for you because I don't want to mess it up on the needles, but it's pretty. Right? Don't you want everything the color? So I don't do book reviews, and the lovely Rachel, who's super cute. When she sent me this, and with her kind whole face, she said, like, I know you don't do book reviews, but I just wanted you to have this because I enjoy your podcast. And I don't often do book reviews, even if things are sent to me. But it's a whole thing of really awesome hats, people. I may have purchased quince yarn to make 3 of them. No, only 2. Only 2? Only 2? I got half of it from Paula's retreat. That's not at all unreasonable. Back off. So, one of the things I really, okay, I'll show you a few of the patterns and then I'll talk about one of the things I really liked about the book. Okay, so this is super cute. Right. Very easy, just like a little bit of a lice pattern, but look at the back. Classic color combo. I still love it, can't help it. It doesn't hurt. Oh, and then look at it with the pom-pom. With the contrasting pom-pom. Have you seen this? She does a lot of contrasting pom-poms. Like not in the main picture a lot of times. It's like in a secondary picture. Like it was added on after. Look at what the contrasting pom-pom is. So cute. Ah! I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. Okay. I'm not dead yet. I'm not going to show you all the patterns because like the cowl is terribly cute and the scarf, but really the hats are what they got me. Okay. There's that one. You can't really, sorry, there's like glaring issues. I apologize. But it's like a lovely buttery yellow and a sky blue and then like what may be a charcoaly gray or a chocolatey brown, it's hard to say. Love that color combination. It's a slouchy Vera. It's called the North Allerton. Look at that! I bought the yarn to make that one. Don't judge me. And also that no, the other one. Okay, that's right. Then there's the set, which is the, I'm going to call it Askew. It's AISKEW. Right? Ah! I need to show you a chart. I was tricked! Tricked, I say! I bought yarn to make this one too. This is the one that Paula already gave me half the yarn for. Just don't judge. In the picture, it's like a cranberry and a wheat color. I'm doing like a blue and a chanterelle. Really? Yes. Whole face is made of crack. So there's that, and then there's of course the mittens that it shows, and there's some like totally cute little doohickeys for your hands. What are those called? Fingerless mitts. There's the hat I showed you that I'm currently making, the Ripon, whatever. One of the things I'm going to say that at the end. And then there's the Catterick, which I also must make. It's a fingering weight solid hat, and really technically I should have made it with this green because it is, oh what? Just closed it. Really? Thing of things? That was not cute. Really I should have made it. Why isn't it opening? I apologize. Really, I should have made that last hat I showed you, which is much more simple with less detailing, and it even has kind of what really almost looks like a little bit of a butterfly-ish motif. It's not literal, but it has kind of a. Can you see? Would have been super cute with the green, super cute. But I really just couldn't help it. I had to have the other one first. Sometimes what you do does not make sense. You know better. Do you care? Not so much. But anyways, isn't that cute? So this is what I wanted to say about one of the things. And again, I've just knit this one pattern, and I'm not a professional pattern reviewer. But one of the things I wanted to say. Oh, and then look at this one too. I forgot about this one. Dang it. This one is called the Eppleby. EPPLEBY. Right? Again, some texture in a fingering weight hat, but not anything that's crazy complicated. And they're all slouchy, because you know I love a slouchy hat. So, one of the things I wanted to say about specifically the pattern that I am knitting now that I am enjoying, well, there's two things I wanted to say. One thing I like, even though these patterns come as an ebook, you can actually get a print version, but I have the ebook version, is that even though they are in a book version, they're not broken out individually, each pattern has the key and abbreviations that are used in that pattern, so that you don't have to keep going back to a different page, whether it be the front or the back of the book, to make sure that you know what that symbol means. I love that. And the abbreviation, so it'll even tell you what a 1-1 RPT is in the actual pattern that you're looking at, so you don't have to be flipping around all the time. That makes me so happy. So happy. I'm sure that if you're doing a print book, it takes a lot to do that, But it doesn't seem like it would be a terrible idea in a ebook, and it's so much more convenient and user-friendly. Okay, so that said, the hat itself, oh, it does come written and charted. Never mind, it's written and charted. I was gonna say it's only charted, but that's all I care about. But it is written too. Very, very well done. It has an excellent flow between the charts. So like this is a chart, this bottom, like which is essentially the ribbing, even though it's not just straight ribbing, is a chart. And then there's like a transition chart, which where you do an increase and it makes it flow into like this bit here. Right. It's very nicely done. And it is so, okay, I don't want to say it's so easy, but it can be, it's very easy to make a cabled pattern, hat, mittens, whatever. It's very easy to make them overly complicated. Meaning that like it's very easy to have them twisting on alternate rows and like have there be way more to keep track of than you need. Because this, I feel like, looks relatively complicated, you know, at first. It's very heavily textured and it looks, you know, it is not complicated for a cabled pattern at all. It's very intuitive. You know pretty much exactly what's going on. You do need to look at a pattern just to make sure that your intuition is correct, or not, just freestyle, I don't care. But it's very intuitive and lovely. It's all flowy and good. She did such a good job. Makes me happy. So anyway, it's very easy to do that. Like, especially in a sweater or a larger garment, to have like one cable has like a 6-row repeat, where another cable has like an 8-row repeat. So they never are on the correct sequence. So this makes it much, much easier. And I'm about to run out of battery, so I'm going to end this podcast right now. I hope you have a lovely weekend or week, and I will talk to you next time. Bye.